Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about off-road recovery hooks for the 3rd gen Toyota Tacoma. And I've just installed these recovery hooks here from a company called NYTOP. So they're kind of thinking outside the box. And I really like these because I've never seen anything like this before. We're out here at the Bonneville Salt Flats, so you can see that we are extremely salty testing these off-road hooks out here. And so far they've held up extremely well. And I really like these because they kind of look like the new 4th gen ARB recovery hooks that are coming out on the 2024 Tacoma. But I really like the red accents, and these are built extremely well. They have a 11,000 pound working load capacity, and each one of these weighs about 15 pounds. And if you look under here, you can see that this thing bolts right onto the frame here, so they're extremely sturdy. So another feature I really like about this is that it's extremely easy to hook onto. So this is going to give you a lot more height than if you're to hook on down here on your hitch here. You're going to get a couple more inches if you're kind of stuck somewhere in a precarious spot. You can actually get to these really easy. So you can see it gives you plenty of room to hook up. And there you go. All right, so moving on to the front here, I have installed these demon brackets and the D-shackles here. And one of the features that I really wanted was to have some bushings in here so that these don't fly around. So they got them pretty tight here. And you can see it's pretty easy to hook up a soft shackle here. Just like that. I wouldn't recommend putting a lot of load on these. There's only one bolt holding this in. So I would only use these if you're really in a bind. So the rear ones are going to have a lot more working load capacity than these ones up here. But also I think they look pretty cool. I like the red accents in the front and the back. All right, guys, so there you have it. That's a little bit about the recovery hooks. Let's jump right into the install.
Here's a look at everything you get for $299. I am not sponsored by the company, so I'm giving you my honest feedback and opinions here. They are heavy duty, durable, powder coated. I believe there's a black option as well if you're interested in that. For this install, all you're going to need is a 17mm socket for the factory bolts and an 18mm socket for the bolts provided, and a torque wrench if you have one. Starting on the passenger side, grab your 17mm socket and remove these 5 factory bolts here. Next, grab one of the bolts provided, and you can actually screw it in here. You don't need the bracket to be able to screw that one in, so I went ahead and did that one already. Then you're going to want to grab the bracket and kind of push it into place here. It did take me a little bit of finagling just to kind of get the holes to line up, but once they did, it was pretty easy to do it from there. Once you have the rest of the bolts in, you can start to tighten them. If you have a torque wrench, you're going to want to tighten them to 75 foot-pounds or 101 Newton-meters. And this last bolt up here, I actually had to use one of the factory bolts because I just couldn't get one of the bolts they provided to work in there. And they said that that was okay. And that's all it takes is just 5 bolts, and there you go. I think it turned out good. Now moving on to the driver's side, the process is the same here. You have the same 5 factory bolts that you're going to remove. Okay, now that you got all your bolts in, you can go ahead and tighten them down. I will say that this side kind of gave me some trouble. I actually had to file a little bit of the bracket just to get the holes to line up properly. And I also had to use 2 of the factory bolts just because they're easier to get in. So here's some pictures from their website of them fully installed, just to give you an idea of what they look like on a truck other than my own. All right, moving on to the Demon brackets and D-rings. I purchased these off of Amazon. No particular reason why I purchased these. They were fairly inexpensive and looked like they were going to hold up well. So here's a look at what's in the box. You got the Demon brackets, the D-rings, and then there's some rubber bushings right here, and then some instructions. So let's jump right into it. Starting on the driver's side, we're going to take a look under here, and actually there is a tow hook right here, but that doesn't look as cool. So what we're going to do is remove this bolt right here. To do that, all you need is a 17mm socket and a wrench, and you can go ahead and remove that bolt. Next, you're going to want to grab your Demon bracket that has a D on it for driver, and then you're going to want to go ahead and place that right here, and then use the factory bolt that you just unscrewed and screw that back in. Now that you got the Demon bracket on, you can prep the D-ring here, so you can unscrew that bolt there, and then grab your rubber bushings, and you're going to want to put this on either side just to help keep it kind of locked in here and not from bouncing around. So that was one of the features that I really wanted, was to be able to not have this thing rattle as I drive down the road. And you can see here that as I tap it, it doesn't really move. So that's exactly what I wanted. So now that you have the driver's side installed, we can move to the passenger side. And this side's a little bit different. There is a factory tow hook here, and it's kind of goofy looking. But you're going to have to remove that to be able to put the Demon bracket on. And so all you got to do is remove these two bolts right here. Once you've done that, you can grab your Demon bracket and start to bolt that back in with the factory bolt that you just took out. Now you can go ahead and install your D-ring on the Demon brackets just like you did on the driver's side. Go ahead and screw the pin in here and make sure that you have your rubber bushings on either side to help keep it nice and steady. Alright, that's it. Super easy install. I think the red is a nice touch. As far as functionality goes, I don't know how much load I'd put on these, but hey, I think they look cool.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully that video was informational for you. I really enjoyed installing these recovery hooks. I'm happy with the way that they look and the way that they function. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.